To be honest, so me, I grew up where men check each other like, bro, that ain't cool. You understand me?
And I think that whatever is being pushed out to us now, I think that things are intentionally being pushed out to the men. Right?
Y'all heard what he said, man. You know, nowadays men gotta tell other man that ain't cool. That ain't cool. That ain't cool at all, man. You feel me? Hit that subscribe button, man. Run them up.
And I don't think that the men realize that these are agendas, you know, to soften them up and to get them out of their masculinity. Because just when I was growing up, that just wasn't a thing.
Not at all. I mean, if I don't know what woman said that then we need to start seeing men in booty shorts.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I would imagine, I'm just saying, you know, this is me saying, this is not Ronnie Brown saying it. I would imagine, right, this would be something preferable to how gay men would love to see straight men dress. I'm just saying, not women. Women was okay with shit. You wearing the suit, you wearing tall tees. You was able to get women through all of these eras, no matter what you wore. So this new cute life, it ain't for women. It's either for your own vanity or for other men. I mean, that's all I can see.
Yeah, I really miss the times when men.
That's real, man. What he just said was the realest thing ever, gang. It ain't for cuteness, man. It's for vanity or other men. These men out here bogus.
Used to wear, you know, suits. When I was coming up, my daddy wore suits and Stacey Adams and double-breasted suits, and I used to shine his shoes at night. You know, like that was a thing.
That's how it was. My pops, he always had hella suits. You know what I'm saying? And I can dress down, I can get dappered up. You know, I can flip it around. You feel me? But never to the point where, you know, I'm dressing like a fashionista.
Yeah.
You understand me? I feel like the dapperness is what men supposed to achieve, not the cuteness.
Yeah.
You feel me? Trying to be dapper and fly. And I think a lot of men probably just don't know how. You know, so, you know, I try to step out a little bit. I try to give them a little example.
A little sample?
Yeah, man. You know, because I feel like we lost in so many ways. Like, men don't even know how to walk anymore. You understand me? Like, our head be down, not confident. Like, I was taught stomach in, chest out, head up. You understand me? Like, even when you keep your head high, you exude more confidence naturally.
But I think that that's something that's taught. And right now, you know, the father figures and things like that, they aren't there the way that they used to be. So a man teaches you how to walk and put your head up and how to fix your voice and how to.
I think that's a fact, gang. You know what I'm saying? Father figures ain't there no more. And I can speak on that myself. I ain't have a father figure, but at the end of the day, a man do teach you all of that, how to walk, talk, how to carry yourself as a man, how to be a man, how to intellect as a man, how to think like a man, and everything. So, therefore, she right. They totally correct. Hit that subscribe button.
Communicate and how to care and, you know, how to talk about the things that are important to you, and that's what the difference is. So these are things that are taught inside of the home, but if the home structure is not there, then you're learning femininity from a woman.
That's a fact. So let's talk about femininity for the women, because even though the women are in the household, because they have to masculize themselves in a position, they don't often teach those feminine behavior and principles to women that grow up. And at the same time, I just don't feel like it's enough women giving each other game. You understand me in that regard? And I think that's another thing when women are just not taught. So in relationships, the idea is just I do whatever I want. I'll be freely, and anything that restricts me, then I'm done with it. You know, instead of actually men learning women and women learning men and taking on that responsibility to figure out what actually works. If I decide to get into a relationship with a person, then I should be able to understand the feminine energy and what's needed and that rhythm of flow that actually goes to make this relationship successful. So a lot of the women nowadays don't have those same qualities of being soft, of, you know, self-respectability, of being good communicators, being nurturers. And the nurturing thing does go back and forth between men and women. But women are such natural nurturers, right? That if she doesn't possess that, then that's the biggest ingredient of ways that you're going to feel love in that relationship.
Well, let me jump in and just say this. That starts from the home as well. A lot of the things that we are seeing now are things that are missing from the home. When I was growing up, my daddy was in my home. So I was a daddy's girl. My father came home from work and I sat at my father's lap and I laid my head on his chest and he rocked me to sleep. And I would get up in the morning and my father would teach me how to garden and build a clubhouse. And he would take me to Baltimore Harbor and we would go ice skating. So I had my dad there, you know, growing up from a young girl up until I was about 14 years old. My mom and my dad separated, but my father was present. So I think having the father figure there and having a man, my dad was a leader. He was a provider. He was very dominant. I grew up a different kind of way.
And like they said, if we ain't taught dominance, if we ain't taught leadership, man, it's hard. You feel me? It's hard. Trust me, gang. Trust me. At the end of the day, I think that leadership, that right there is the key to becoming a man. All of that, you know. I had to just tap in on that with y'all, gang. I did. I had to tap in on that note. Finish the live stream, y'all.
Way as far as now being an adult, I believe that when a woman is in the presence of a dominant man, she's going to naturally go into her femininity. But when you are raised in that environment where you are around a woman who is the sole provider, the woman who is the decision maker, the woman who is working and paying all of the bills, then you are taught to become that independent, strong woman who doesn't need a man, right? And I think that what we are seeing is the generational things happen when, you know,
man, shout out to 19 Keys again, gang. Shout out to 19 Keys. Shout out to Ronnie Brown. Like I said, man, this is real knowledge. This is real man knowledge. This is the knowledge we need to be taught. This is the knowledge we not taught about. This is the knowledge that don't nobody speak to us about, gang. Like I said, everywhere I go, I ain't heard nobody speaking like this. You feel me? I don't hear nobody telling us this, like, hey, yo, this the case, this the game, this how we're going to do things. But, you know, for that matter, man, it is what it is. I'm here to share 19 Keys knowledge with everybody else because, you know, it was shared with me. You know, so therefore, man, pick it up and run with it. Let's keep going with this knowledge, gang, because I love this learning, man. I'm not going to lie. I love this type of learning, man. Let's go. Let's go.
Now women don't have those men. So when we get around men who, because this goes both ways, Keys, right? We get around these men who can't provide, right? We get around men who can't lead. We get around men who are not decision makers. We get around men who are feminine, right? We get around men who may not see the value in the Black woman, right? It's very difficult for you to be in a feminine space when you're working 20 hours a day, right? It's very hard for you to be in a feminine space when you cannot trust the decisions that the man that you're with is making, right? I want to be able to close my eyes and say, he has it. That's a level of safety. And I talk to women about this all the time. There are different levels of safety that you must feel to be able to get into your feminine space with a man, right? There's emotional safety. There's financial safety, right? There's intimate safety, okay? There is safety where if something happens, you feel as though he can protect you, okay? And then can he build you up from a confidence standpoint? Or do you see your man, you know, out here fiending over every half-naked woman on Instagram? Because that creates emotional insecurity with so many women seeing that, right? You are now looking at women compare themselves based on body types and, you know, how people are showing up online, and you're feeling insecure and inadequate because of an app or a filter or something that's not even real. And it's no longer based on substance. So there are just so many different areas that I just tell women, pay attention to these things. Pay attention to who you're around when you're dominant. Pay attention to the man that you're around when you're in your feminine space. When you are around a dominant man who you trust, you will naturally slide right into your femininity.
Now, because I love what you're saying, and there's some women who believe that, and this coincides that your feminine energy is not particularly dependent on whether you're around masculine energy. That is something that you do all the time, regardless of who or what is around. You understand me? And it's more so that it doesn't become reactionary, but more so a way of life. And that's also with understanding that, yes, I understand that the difficulty of trying to be feminine while having to be in a leadership role, right, is a contradiction. Because Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said if a woman has to lead a man, he becomes one of her children, right? And you said something about when a woman can't trust a man's decisions, she doesn't trust in his masculine energy anymore. You know, she doesn't trust in his logic. So she stopped coming to you for that. Now she seeks other masculine energy, whether within herself or within other men, for that guidance and or leadership.
Outside leaders.
Absolutely. And that's really one of the most dangerous things.
And this is why our men have to continuously focus on learning and educating themselves. Because if you cannot educate your woman, if you don't have things that you can teach her, and you can guide her, and she's constantly going to be seeking leadership and guidance in other areas.
Absolutely. Every woman wants a man that she can learn from. 100%. That's why a man is supposed to be an educator in his household. Like, if a man brings knowledge and he teaches the woman, then the woman becomes a teacher that teaches the children. It's a natural flow. Like,
hit that subscribe button, gang. Y'all already know how it go. That's that word right there. But see, like they said, if a man never was taught it, how can a man know to teach it? Hit that subscribe button, gang. We all learning, man. We learning right now.
Men are not supposed to be dependent. A man is supposed to depend on no one but God, right? And if his knowingness and his faith is strong in that belief, and he understands that confidence within himself, then she can then in turn have confidence and belief within him. And then that's when she can be properly led, because she wants to be led. Because if you got this and you naturally a leader, then I'm gonna be a good follower.
And let me just stress this, because so many people think that women don't want to be led.
Yes.
Let me just bust this myth. Women want to be led. Women want to be able to say, my man knows his stuff. I trust him. He works hard. He is just so intelligent. He teaches me so many things. Women want to say that. We want to brag on our men. We want to be able to say, this is my man. He does this. He's a leader. I can talk to him about anything. We want to say, let me go ask my husband first. We want to say that. Yeah. What we don't want to say is, I can't go to him.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll have the answer to that. I can't trust his judgment. We don't want to say that. That's embarrassing. We want to be able to say, I fully trust the decisions that my man makes, and whatever he decides, I'm rolling with it.
It just even sounded good when you said it.
That's what we want to say.
And it's like, so you seen the clip, my homegirl Jazzy, where she was talking about how she nurtures her man. And this is the way that she loves.
What does a submissive woman do for her man?
Everything.
What does that mean?
You know, like packing his bag, unpacking his bag, just making sure all the things that he wants. And like, I pretty much read his mind. So it's like, if I know you and I study you, like I know how you are in the morning. I know how you are about midday. I know when you're in this mood, what you need. Like before you can ever ask me for something, I'm already on it. I mean, he's spoiled. And you know, when I talk to my girlfriends about it, they're always like, oh, how you guys doing? And I'm just like, girl, he's rotten. I'm like, he's spoiled rotten. Like, he's rotten.
Gang, this one right here, I ain't never heard of no woman say that, but that's what's up. I think that's what every man be needing. I think that's what every man needs to become an actual man, you know, of what the family would desire. You know, they family, his family. So at the end of the day, let's listen. See what she talking.
Ryan, but I love that. Like, I want him to be that. I think my biggest flex is how I treat my man. And I've been known to love people back to health. And sometimes it's very draining, but my love is my superpower. And I used to hate that about myself. But now it's like, I'm just embracing it. Like, that's who I am. Like, if I love you, I can heal you.
It's your joy.
It is my joy. You know, I love to see him eating the meal that I cook. I love seeing him sleep easy. Every night, like clockwork, I scratch this man's back to sleep. And I know when he's asleep because I can tell when his breathing changes. And some people might think that's psychotic, but that's like, I just know that's when I'm like, oh, I can stop now. But I find joy in being your rest, you know? So know what that means. And that works for us because he wants what I have to offer.
Right. And they a lot of people had, a lot of women more so took issue with the details, right? And a lot of men were just looking into it and say that, damn, this sounds like that feels good. Like that's the energy I want. because a lot of men weren't really thinking about the details or whether she says she rubs his bad part or scratches his back or pack. That's not what we was looking at. It was just that nurturing energy that she said that she possessed in the way that she gives love, right? And a lot of men, well, I think when they seen it, they realized, like, yo, I'm missing that. Not the detail. I don't need nobody to pack the
Yo, hit that subscribe button, gang.
bag of things of that nature, but that energy of having a nurturing woman who understands that, who's looking out for my best interests as I'm building and I'm leading, like she helps make a better leader. She helps you lead, right? And a lot of women were looking at the details. Well, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And they're missing the bigger picture, right? And so I think that's why we get back to the issues of the chaos that we have between each other, because we don't even understand each other, right? Like, we are thinkers, but women are fillers, right? You can never win an argument with a woman. You understand me? She got way too many options and different ways she'll go about it. And for men, we try to come to a logical point and end in the conversation. And it's more so about how you felt. So you have to stop yourself and be like, all right, if we're going to, and it's not about winning and losing. You understand me? It's about understanding.
Because if one person loses and you're in a relationship, how does anyone win?
You're both losing.
You both lose. If we're tearing each other down and apart, we're losing together.
It's about understanding and agreement.
Yeah, and it's also being dedicated to understanding your person's love language. And I don't think that we take the time to figure out what's important to a person. Sometimes we may think that just being successful is enough, right? But that may not be important to your person. One of the things that I'm realizing is that just being considerate.
Sit down.
Consideration is such a powerful thing. So when you hear women talking about that soul wife or catering to that man, when you are with someone.
Hey, gang, y'all hit that subscribe button, man. I'm gonna let y'all go on about y'all way, like I said, as y'all see my kids interrupting my live, man. But man, that was learning. Knowledge at its best. At the end, I love y'all, man. Y'all make sure y'all stay tapped in and stay tuned in, gang. I am out. I'll be trying.